Hey guys, obviously there's been a gigantic break in between since I last posted a video. And really a lot has happened. I mean, we've had quite a few run-ups, we've had quite a few downturns, we've had some very interesting dates that weren't met. And to be honest, it's very hard to pick a date, right? But I don't think that is so important. I think there's some things we need to understand. I think the main thing is the question is, are people selling? And of course, we all have this through our head, and the uncertainty and doubt. And I just don't think anyone is selling. I think we're seeing, to include, it doesn't make sense if people are selling. Large institutions would not be buying. We've had several pension funds, to include the largest pension fund, buy a ton of AMC and GameStop. I try and keep up with GameStop news. It is kind of difficult. I'm more of an AMC person, just to let GME people know that. So, but it's a team effort currently with AMC and GameStop. Oh, and I have to always start with, this is not financial advice. But just what I'm tracking currently and what I think in terms of the movement. I don't think people are selling. There's a lot of people who bought even AMC and GameStop, both at the top. I actually was there in person when some people bought GameStop at $450 a share. It doesn't make sense for them to sell. I think people are not going to sell just based out of the sense of how much of a loss they would take if they did sell for some of those people. And I think some people like me who have ridden AMC, for example, from basically $2 to 72 and didn't sell then, we're not going to sell at $17. Just we're here for a specific play, and I think the type of people that are investing in these things are the type of people that are kind of like a hornet's nest, right? You get near the hornet's nest, and a couple hornets sting you. And, it's kind of like what happened to the hedge funds. They got stung. And they decide, well, you know what, I'll do some damage to this hornet's nest. And they attempt to do some damage to the hornet's nest. But all it does is make the hornets that are already stinging them continue to sting them. And then it makes all the hornets come out of the hornet's nest come and sting them. And they may have done some damage to the nest, but the hornets are going to continue to sting you. And then they're just going to rebuild the nest and even bigger and maybe even in a harder to reach area. So that's how I feel the type of people that are in this play are. They're people, especially now after a year of it, they're completely immune to any sort of shill news, fear, uncertainty, doubt news. They can't be shook. The people who are currently on this play can't be shook. And it's very interesting, and it's very questionable how long this will go. And really, and we were hoping it wouldn't. We were hoping, this wouldn't take this long. I know a lot of people like me also were hoping this wouldn't take this long. Good news is, and this is the crazy part to me, is a lot of people, including myself, are now entering, portions, if not all of their portfolio on these plays, are entering the long-term capital gains tax. And the reason why that's so interesting and crazy is it's very clear that the government is a conspirator in this movement with the hedge funds, and they're literally throwing away what could be technically trillions of dollars in tax revenue. And so it's pretty interesting that the government is just letting that slide, because, and I mean, it's true the way this works. There's billions of fake shares sold that have to be bought back, and if no one sells, the price will only continue to go up. I mean, and then they continue to do fake shares, but we have that new rule coming in now to where people are going to have to say where the shares came from. Like people who are apparently, finger air quotes, lending out the shares are going to have to say, oh yeah, no, that we lended this many out to these people. So we're about to see some really crazy transparency. And to include, we're also really excited for AMC's earnings calls. The thing I don't like about AMC's earnings calls is a lot of these brokerages can go ahead and, say what they expect for the EPS, earnings per share, and they can put expected EPS really high, and AMC may just meet that EPS. The reason why I don't like this is because it kind of dissuades data, you know? It kind of shows like, oh yeah, no, they just met expectations instead of exceeding expectations. And even if it is positive, and which we all know it's going to be positive, there's no way this next earning call on March 1st isn't in the positive. So it's really exciting. And of course, I love all the memes. AMC cheers cancer. Believe it or not, negative stock movement. Um, I have no data on how long this will take. I don't think anyone truly does. Maybe the big institutions do, the ones that bought in, like Renaissance, Renaissance Company, BlackRock, Vanguard. Maybe these companies do have a date, and these pension funds, but we as retail investors, I don't think any retail investor truly has a date. I think maybe our dates probably could have been accurate, but I think the amount of manipulation we've seen is just it's just too much. I'm not going to try and do any TA with y'all, any technical analysis, because I've seen time and time again technical analysis just fail. And again, it's purely because you can't do technical analysis on something that's completely manipulated. And look, AMC and GameStop are not the only ones that are manipulated. They're just the ones that we've created the movement for and have gotten behind and have purely shown truly how bad the manipulation is. And let's just hope that the Department of Justice, we know they've definitely found stuff, but let's hope that the punishment matches the crime. I think what we've seen over the past year is that everyone has truly become to understand that if you're punishing someone for robbing a bank and they rob $10 million and you make them pay $10,000 but you let them go, they're going to continue to rob that bank every time. And that's just business. That's just profit for you. So yeah, I don't think anyone's going to sell AMC. I don't think anyone's going to sell GameStop. I don't think we're going to see anything like that. Not until the price point is met for these people. I mean, and it's gotten out of hand. These hedge funds a year ago or 2 years ago, however long it's been, a year ago, had the opportunity to probably close AMC out at $200 per share. I think a lot of people were really set for AMC to hit 200, and GameStop was really truly a storm. With it going above 400. I think, of course, some people probably sold GameStop in the 400s, but I think people who were truly holding for the movement didn't. I think original GameStop price was $1,000 a share is what people were holding for. Now we've got people holding AMC for $1 million plus. We've got people holding GameStop for, legitimately any price they want is what they're asking. The float is so much less for GameStop. And Ryan Cohen is not putting out any news, which is pretty fantastic. I don't think there's anything wrong with putting out news. I like that Adam Aaron, gives us, guidance and gives us what to expect. It would be nice if any of these companies did issue out dividends, one, to give breathing room to their current stockholders, and two, that combats naked shorts, and we'll do another video why. But that's my opinion on. I don't think anyone's going to sell AMC or GameStop. Not the current prices. I think too many people have bought in at higher prices that refuse to sell. I think people who have ridden this out aren't going to call it quits now. I think it's just more people are going to long-term capital gains. So essentially, the retail investor making more money when this blows up, and I think the government is losing out on tax money, which is a big shame because these are the people who pay their taxes, who are willing to pay their taxes, and who'd be willing to pay their taxes even if they made a lot of money on these plays, no matter how much the tax would have been. Yet, here we are, the middle class and lower class, being pretty much cheated out of what we're owed. But it's not over. We'll just continue to hold and continue to grow. People are just buying more and buying more. And, the hedge funds are playing chicken, in my opinion. They're losing. Thanks for watching. That's all I had to say. Watch our next video. Bye.